schedule. Just whatever jobs I do, my commercial work I do first, and then all the rest of the time I do painting or the medical work. So.
Okay. So what inspires you?
Well, all my work is body-based because I was sick as a kid. So I started doing work about being sick and my body and then other people's bodies. So pretty much everything I do is based on the figure one way or another, whether it's prints or paintings or photography. And then I do a lot of work with patient groups and medical groups, sort of bringing in a humanitarian component into that. So again, it's all kind of based around the body, all sort of from my experiences of being sick as a kid and being around patients and things like that.
So do you work alone, or have you ever worked with somebody else? As in, like,
you did look at my website, right? Yeah. Okay. I have a big tattoo project I do, and that is a collaboration.
Like right now?
Yeah, those are on the website.
Okay.
All my other work is, my paintings are solely me, but the tattoo project is done with someone else. And then I also have a business called Art and Med, where I work with a woman who's an art therapist, and we go and give lectures to patient groups, medical groups, curate shows for things like that. So I have some aspects. My painting, my photography is myself. The tattoo projects are done with another painter. The art and medicine work is done either alone or with a woman who's an art therapist.
So if you have any questions, you guys could ask too. No. So when did you start painting? Was it like at an early age, or?
No, I went to Arizona State.
When did you decide, like, painting was your thing?
Well, I went to Arizona State and studied design. Wow. And I took a lot of illustration. I used to do a lot of magazine illustration. And then about 7 years after I graduated, I was dating somebody who gave me easels and paint for Christmas. So then I started painting for real, as opposed to just doing little gouache drawings. And started showing in galleries right away. So it was sort of someone else making the decision for me that I should be a painting artist. So that was 1987, before you guys were born.
Yeah. So you said your childhood was an inspiration as a painter, right? So
as far as imagery.
Is there anything else?
Well, the fact that I was sick as a kid has affected everything. That's why I do the scar work. It's why I paint bodies. It's why I deal with patients and doctors and all that. So that's really the main one. Everything else is just,
Well, what I've seen, you use a lot of color. What does it mean to you?
It's just the way I paint.
The way you paint?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just I'm comfortable with a really strong palette.
Okay.
But that's also changed over the years. It used to be when I was not as healthy, the colors were darker, and then as I became healthier, they became much brighter. The figures became fuller, healthier looking, happier, things like that.
So what do you want for your gallery? So we're making it about you. Do you want it, like you said, outside or inside? Or
well, I don't really care. You guys can figure out the architect, and the look. I mean, I trust you guys to do.
Okay.
It's your project. But when I've thought about this, as opposed to other people that I think are just, I'm saying just, but they land up doing art. I do very specific things, but they all sort of go through the fact that I was sick as a kid. So maybe there's some way you can do sort of an entrance that then branches off. That's sort of the way I see my art. So, and we'll walk around it. So, I have this experience of being sick and being around doctors and patients in hospitals as a kid. And then I land up doing art about medicine. I do work that's figurative as far as paintings, and I do photography. So it's all sort of because I had all this crazy stuff happen to me as a kid. So I don't know if there's a way to portray that, but I would see 3 specific areas in it. And other than that, I don't really care. It's whatever you guys come up with.
Okay. So, can you give me 3 words that describe you?
Short. I'm an artist. Short, broke, and I think there's a lot of empathy because I'm around so many people that have been through a lot. I feel an artist. I mean, my whole day is spent with how can I make things, create things.
And 3 words.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other one. What would be my third one? I don't know. I'll have to come up with a third.
Okay.
What about 3 words that describe your work?
Well, colorful, figurative, impassioned. I didn't get your name.
Oh, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Message. I had a quick question. I'm not sure if you guys went over this, but as Miguel and I were looking through your website, I saw that it's a half brush, painting brush,
Oh, yeah.
and the half one was
that was
the knife thingy, mask.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if
Well, that's because I do so much work about medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm a painter, but I'm also doing work about medicine. So I thought scalpel on the brush, sort of an icon.
That looked really cool because all your art obviously were about medical body, and just see half medical stuff and half art painting
Branding. It's branding.
So I thought it was really cool.
Thanks.
Which is more important to you, the subject of painting or the way it's executed?
Explain the question a little more.
Like, the way you paint it, I guess, is like the way the whole subject of the painting or the way you paint it.
Well, I'm sort of both because being older than you guys, I'm more like street art and stuff it doesn't interest me as much, like the sort of loose spray paint, stencily. I'm really much more of a trained painter, so the technical ability is still really important to me. But the idea, it's not like I'm doing any paintings that are sort of earth-shattering, but I do want them representational. So it's important that they have some sort of message, And I do stuff from these that are very serious to these that are sort of more lighthearted, depending on what show they're going in. But the technical ability is important to me. Like a lot of modern stuff that I see now, I like the concept. I don't necessarily like the execution. And for me, to be impressed by a painting, the execution and the concept has to be better than I could come up with.
Okay.
Most things don't. But when something does, it really impresses me.
So I should have asked you this question before, but do you mind if we use your work?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. I think those are all my questions. Do you have any more questions you guys want to ask?
Not right now. Should we take a look at
Yeah,
the paintings?